Good afternoon. I know it's been a while, hasn't it? Apologize for that. Apologize for that. I'll get into it in another video. I get burnt out, man. I get the shits, all of it. It all just gets to be too much. Just inundated with too much shit, you know? Sometimes I just gotta unplug and turn it all off. All of it. Television, every friggin' thing, man. Everything. Can you train around a bad shoulder? Can you train around a bad shoulder? I'm 61 years old now, so can you train around a bad shoulder? Maybe. So, the multiple times, and by the way, this is not medical advice, YouTube, this is training advice. Maybe a little bit of life advice, so it's subjective. It's subjective. It isn't going to apply, across the board to everybody. Take it or leave it. Daggone, my pig is out of daggone lighter fluid. Damn. What the shit. I can't talk about these things that I employed because YouTube isn't having it. So Patreon, we'll talk about it all you want. Here, I'm not going to talk about that. But I will talk about the training aspect of it. Can you train around it or with a bad shoulder? Maybe. What you're going to have to do, and I just offer clarity, mine's pretty bad, so I can train around it. You're just going to have to, your salvation is going to be isolation movements in that case. Your salvation is going to be isolation movements and thoroughly warming up. Thoroughly warming up to the degree that you may even want to apply some type of liniment pre-workout. Like I use all those equine joint liniments. I've always used them for as far as I can remember. It's been so damn long, Getting long in the tooth, memory isn't that great? Most strength athletes, it's very common in those circles. A little bit will do you, a little dab will do you for the most part, and you apply it pre-workout. So you can try that, and then like I said, isolation. You want to try to avoid compound movements, most likely. You want to try to avoid anything that's going to aggravate that shoulder. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a particular type of curl, if it's a barbell curl and it aggravates it, don't do that. Find another way. There are tons of bicep exercises you can do. Find some other bicep exercises because really, I'm going to tell you the honest truth, it doesn't much matter what you do workout-wise to build muscle or to maintain functionality. If it works, it works. The proof is in the pudding. It almost doesn't matter what you do. It's the intensity that you can get in there and generate. Lee Haney used to be known to say, stimulate, don't annihilate. And when you're talking about dealing with something like a bad shoulder and you're going to try and train through it, or you're going to try to strengthen it up, because yes, contrary to what a lot of people believe, all this external musculature, right? The three heads of that deltoid, the posterior, anterior, and medial heads of that deltoid that you see, those muscles do absolutely contribute a great deal to holding that shoulder together. So if you can somehow get around that injury and find things that will work for you cautiously, carefully, small steps to the moon, and build up the musculature surrounding it, that's going to put you in a better position with that shoulder as far as functionality and day-to-day living and even future training, continuing to train. It's the same thing with the back. Like I've told you a million times, your spine's basically submerged, encapsulated in just muscle back there. So it may be difficult at first, but if you can find a way to train around it without irritating or aggravating it and build up some strength in that musculature back there, that's going to take the load off of that spine, right? It's been my experience anyway, and that's my opinion. So yeah, I think you can train around it. It depends how stubborn you are, and how old you are. If you're really young, if you need it, get it fixed. Go ahead and get it fixed. If you got insurance for it, you can get it fixed, get it fixed. Me, my entire life, I've had, when I've had injuries and things like that, I have always tried to find a get around. And I've had, you know, 99% of the time, I'm able to build it back up and develop it and strengthen it back up and not have any further noticeable issue with it. But it takes time, it takes patience, it takes consistency. The thing about consistency is you want to consistently train when you're capable of training, when you're fully able. But you have to use a modicum of common sense, and you have to refrain when it's not, ready to be stimulated or worked or exercised again. Then give it the rest time that it needs. Absolutely give it the rest time that it needs. If you've got a bad shoulder or something like that and it's bothering you from training, you want that to be completely, you want that pain to be completely gone basically before you go and train it again. And if it still hurts, if whatever you're doing is aggravating it, is hurting it while you're doing it, then yeah, you better get the surgery, because all you're going to do is inflict more damage every time you train. You're just going to tear a little more and a little more and a little more. So, patience is a virtue, and sometimes moderation is a better part of valor, or discretion is a better part of valor. So that's it. Hope that helps. Again, this is no medical advice. Believe it or not, I'm not a doctor. Believe it or not, I'm not. I know a lot of these other folks on here think that they are doctors. So I am not a doctor, and I know that I'm not a doctor. This is my life experience and my life advice, my 2 cents in that direction about training and just about surviving into an older age and maintaining functionality. That's it. You guys take care. I'm going to get a lighter. The one in my pocket happens to be so. Have a great day.